All right, we're here looking at a couple pretty big oaks, older trees, right? And I was thinking about doing a video on this earlier. Then my buddy here just said, "Daniel, what's up with these trees? I've never seen branches so low in these trees." So what's going on here? Well, let's take a look at this one here. You see that one's fading? It's almost all gone. The top almost certainly has bacterial leaf scorch. Bacterial leaf scorch blocks the vascular tissue, keeps the water from moving up into the very branch tips. You know, the higher up those branches are, those leaves are, the further that water's got to get sucked up there, the harder it is to move out of the ground. So what happens is the tree is now dying off pieces of the top. There's some pretty significant pieces in the top, deadwood in the top there. And what it's doing here is saying, you know what? I'm going to put some branches on lower down here where I don't have to move the water so far. I'm still getting some sunshine down here. It's not like a waste of energy to put these leaves out every year. I'm getting some payback here. And when this top starts dying, even more than it is, I know I'm having trouble moving the water up to the very tippy top of this tree here. I'm going to have some resources coming in. I'm going to have a little backup plan here of having all these lower branches here. And you can see there's pretty good open sky over here. So these leaves are getting some sun, and you can see, just look at them. These, what are they? What are you seeing here? This is just a solar collector. The way these leaves are arranged, they're out here reaching for the sun that's coming into this from this open sky here, which is southern exposure and western exposure, and it's producing sugar for the tree to try to keep it strong and healthy. And in situations where trees have been removed, and there's new exposure of light on the trunk, then it shades the trunk. But basically, what a tree is a solar collector. It's trying to put some leaves out there where the sun is, where it can pick up, make some energy. Now, normally, the strategy for doing that is to out-compete everybody else and reach for the open sky. These big, tall trees are reaching for the sky. But when that is no longer working, like, look at that one. Look at all the deadwood up in that one there, right? I mean, there's a lot, more than you can tell from here. And so what it's doing is putting leaves down here, down low where it can get some sun. Now we have a dogwood tree down here too, which is blocking the sun from getting to the very base of the tree. So it's only got a few little sprouts down here. It doesn't have a lot like the other ones do. But as soon as you get to a level past the dogwood tree, now you have all that new growth there. And so that's there for a reason. Tree knows what it's doing, and better than you do. So when the customer says, "Oh, Dan, cut all those branches off," I'm going to say, well, look, I will if you really insist, but I don't recommend it. It's not good for the health of the tree. The tree has those branches there for a reason. As a matter of fact, if you really, really care about aesthetics, what we'll do is we'll thin them out. We'll help, like, see this branch right here? I can prune that branch up and let that start developing into a new, decent-looking limb. And maybe take some of these other ones out, if he insists. But 95% of the customers, when you tell them, look, these trees, those branches are actually good for the tree, it'd be hurting the tree to cut them off, they're going to say, all right, you know what, I'll live with it. And it really doesn't look too bad. It might look a little shrubby when it begins early on, but these branches have probably been growing here for 15 or 20 years, maybe longer. And it's just a new look for the tree. And that tree, for example, I mean, that's pretty much all it's got. Those lower leaves down there. There's not much up in the whole top of that tree. It's almost all gone. So that is my philosophy. What do you think?